working together in Chicago parks, fostering partnerships and alliances. Welcome to Chicago at Play.
Heralded as the #1 theatrical event of the year by the New York Times. A production that is heart-twisting and extraordinarily potent. Touted to be among the most compelling theater pieces you could wish to see. The critically acclaimed production of Black Watch makes its Chicago debut this spring at Broadway Armory Park.
We're so excited to be able to partner with Chicago Shakespeare Theater and to have Black Watch come to the Broadway Armory. We're always looking for partnerships with Chicago's awesome theater companies or any arts company who's interested in bringing work to neighborhoods, to our parks, thinking about how parks could be used in really interesting ways. The park's going to be transformed into a theater. It's going to be so exciting just to see how they make it work, how the show works in that space, how the community responds to the show. We're really excited about it.
One of the pillars of Chicago Shakespeare Theater's mission is our World Stage program. We have an equal commitment to bringing our Shakespeare productions to Chicago and to the world, and then equally to seeking out international works and bringing them here to Chicago. This is the first opportunity that we have had to really bring international work into Chicago, but sort of explore the neighborhoods.
So it's going to be a Broadway Armory in the Edgewater neighborhood, and the Edgewater community has really invested themselves in the production and the production coming into their community. It's been really exciting to see.
Dundee, Sergeant! Eh? Well, it's just like the Perth Road on a Saturday night, is it? Beware strikes!
Black Watch is a production that we heard about years ago when it was touring the world. It had played 2 engagements in New York at St. Anne's Warehouse, had been received in New York to critical acclaim universally. It was called the #1 theatrical event of the year. The piece was developed through interviews, through first-person interviews conducted with soldiers who had returned to Scotland after the war ended. So it bounces back and forth chronologically between what is the present day of this playwright interviewing these former soldiers in a bar, and then it bounces back in time to what their experiences were on the front. So you have this alternation in scale from the sort of really small, intimate interviews that were conducted in this bar, and then sort of the flashbacks that these guys experienced going back to the sort of expanse that was the front in Iraq. I think one of the things that is so brilliant about this piece, and one of the reasons that it has been so successful, is although it is a story about a specific time and a specific place and a specific conflict, it really is much more about the individual soldiers and their experiences, which I think are experiences that anybody in any country at any time can relate to. There's a brilliant sequence in the piece in which each of the soldiers is going through the exercise of basically opening envelopes and reading letters that their loved ones have sent to them, and I think really anybody, anywhere can connect to that.
The National Theatre of Scotland's production of Black Watch plays a limited engagement March 29th to April 10th at Broadway Armory Park. Get your tickets to the theatrical event of the season by calling 312-595-5600 or go to chicagoshakes.com.
You know, to have a world-class program or theater production come into our parks and into our neighborhood is something, you know, we can't do that on our own, and we really need these partnerships with groups like the Chicago Shakespeare Theater to work with us, to think about coming into our neighborhoods, to think about our park patrons as their patrons, because we combine, we serve the communities of Chicago, and we really want all of our patrons to find the arts in our parks.
For to join that Heelan regiment, the gallant 43